welcome to my podcast. Hi, I'm Al, and this is Inside Sports from the driver's seat. These are adventures of my past 20 plus years of being a professional motor coach operator, dealing with professional sports teams here in the city of Philadelphia. Let's talk about it. All right. Here we go. Inside Sports from the driver's seat. And today, as always, after an Eagles game, my co-host is Annette McKinney. How are you, Annette?
I'm good. Very good.
Good. We wasn't here last week because we've been on a bye. The Eagles on a bye. We was on a bye, and you was out cruising. How was your cruise?
Oh, it was fantastic. Can't wait for the next one.
Good. I hear you. I think I'm going in March, so I'm looking forward to that as well. Now,
Okay.
one thing I want to do before we get started here, we wasn't here last weekend, which was Veterans Weekend, and so I want to take this opportunity to wish you a belated Happy Veterans Day, and to thank you for your service.
Yep. Thank you.
And now also, I want to talk a little bit about you because you are doing things in your community. Like today, tell us what you had going on today.
Well, today is what I do almost for the last 9 years. I raise money throughout the year, and we with another group, a Father's Place, and with the church that I deal with, we feed the homeless every week of Thanksgiving. We normally do it on the Tuesday before Thanksgiving every year. So I was up early this morning. That's why I really couldn't do the podcast till later, because we were up this morning getting all the food packaged up, and clothes and shoes and hats and everything we were donating to the community. And we normally trigger one of the lower areas of the community where the help is needed the most. So all throughout the year, I collect clothes and all kind of things so I can have everything ready for this event. And the next event is with the church. We couldn't do the church today because they had an emergency, but that's on the list for later on in the week as well. So I do it every year. My husband assists me when he can, because most of the time he works and he misses this event. So it just so happened he was off to this morning. He was able to help me take everything out there. So it's really a humbling experience, and hopefully I get more donors. So if I get more donors, I can provide more food.
Right. Now, how did you get involved in this?
Well, in 2015, after I retired from the military, I went back to school to get my bachelor's degree, and that was one of the places I did my internship. And once I did my internship, and I seen that they, are involved in a lot of organizations and a lot of projects, I just started volunteering, and it's been nonstop. Even after I got my degree, I still continue to come there and do credit course classes and workshops and everything else with this organization because it's so great,
Right. Now, and this is in the area of Charleston, South Carolina?
Yes.
Okay. So I want to say, hopefully people will hear this podcast down in their area. And I want to implore you to go out and help Annette to do the things that she's doing in her community, especially with the homeless, and also listen to her. What is the name of your show that's on YouTube?
Oh, it's Sunday Eagles Football with Annette.
Okay. Guys, go out and watch that. She's very knowledgeable. She's a diehard Eagles fan. And so give us some support on that. All right. Now, let's get into yesterday. Now, my first question to you is, a lot of the media, they build this as the, repeat Super Bowl. Now, especially by us winning. Did you look at this as a revenge game for the Super Bowl? Tell me how you thought about this.
No, I didn't look at it like that. I know a lot of people did. I just looked at it to this year as being to see how well our Eagles could go against the Chiefs. Not necessarily thinking about how they matched up during the Super Bowl, because at that point in time we didn't have the same players and we had the same game plan. So to me, I was looking at it as a new game to find out how our strength would go against another high strength team, because we're both number one in our, in AFC, NFC. So it's like seeing when those two go head to head, what's the outcome? Because both teams are so considered so great, in the NFL.
Right.
So I was looking for the strengths and weaknesses against this particular team.
Hmm. Right. I pretty
Hmm.
much see it the same way, and listen to some of the players talk about it, and their primary sentiments were, "This is another game. If we win, we
Right.
don't get a ring
Yeah.
for this one." So, but you know how the
That's
media is,
right.
they
Yeah.
do things to
Hmm.
sell, to hype up the game, but I thought the
Yeah.
game lived up to its height, and I'm just glad that we
Oh yeah.
came
It
out on
definitely
the other
did. Yeah.
side.
It definitely lived up to the hype, and it was very interesting and stuff like that. And I was doing a lot of comparison with the players and everything, and
Hmm.
um, but yeah, I didn't look at it as a Super Bowl because, like you said, we don't have the ring. So this is just
Right,
to me
right.
another stepping stone of trying to maintain the top seed to have a first round bye. That's what I was looking at. We need to win that game for that particular reason because you got to get there first before you can get to the Super Bowl again. So
Absolutely, absolutely. And as the outcome came about, we are still number one in the whole league, also number
yeah,
one in the NFC. Whereas as of the moment, that loss left the Chiefs in second because they're 7-3,
right,
and I think Baltimore is now 8-2, I believe. So Baltimore is the number
right,
one
yeah,
seed if the playoff ended
yeah,
today. So
right,
we started out on defense, and Reddick comes up with a sack in the beginning. Just like I
yeah.
asked you last week, that first series, did that give you any indication of how the game would go or how you thought it might go?
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of wishy-washy. The first series was, I was like, okay, this is going to be a good, even matchup. I thought it was going to be a good game from that first series alone.
Hmm.
As that first half, progressed, I had some concerns, on both sides of the ball, offense and defense, because a lot of little, small errors were starting to add up in that first
Hmm.
half.
Hmm.
So I was like, I don't know. Yeah, I still this playing and watching, the Chiefs play. I didn't think that they were like the better of the team. I just think that
Right.
our team was making a lot of errors there, and it's making them
Hmm.
look much better than what the
Yeah.
game actually was.
Hmm. Now, one of the things I saw, and I'm sure that you did too, is in that first half, and this is basic been every week. It seems like the defense was just giving away too much ground. I mean, our defensive line really didn't do a whole lot, and the only names that I
Hmm.
heard was Williams and Cox. I don't know where everybody else went.
I know. I expect to hear Jalen Carter and Jordan Jones, Jordan Davis and stuff. And
Hmm.
yeah, I was not happy with defense. And like I said, it's been the whole season that they've been inconsistent. I mean, they will step up when you need them, but
Right, right.
but we do need them. I don't, and those are emergency situations. I want them to
Hmm.
step up when we're just flowing with the ball and whatever. It always has to be when we're in a desperate need where they step up, and that's good.
Right.
But sometimes it's not going to work.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the pattern we had the whole entire season thus far.
Hmm.
And
Right.
maybe that's their identity now because it hasn't changed yet. But you know,
Yeah,
and
I
then
know.
and
Mhm.
then another thing too is Sweat. He needs to be more disciplined because he jumps just
Oh
about
yeah,
every game.
he caused us some those little small penalties can really that's a game changer.
Yeah,
Depending on you
absolutely.
if it goes from a third and 5 to a first down, that's
Hmm.
crucial playing a team
Yeah,
like the Chiefs.
yeah, and there
Hmm.
was a lot of missed tackles
Oh yeah,
as
oh
always.
yeah,
But I mean, later on they straightened it out. But in that first half was like it was like atrocious. It was hard to watch.
oh yeah. Oh yeah, and see, my thing about with Mahomes, he did exactly what I was telling people he's going to do. You have to, he's a runner, and our defense are big guys. They're tacklers. They're not runners. So if I'm watching the game. I'm like, oh, he just got to touch him right there, and he
Hmm.
go right by, and nobody can touch him at all because he's fast. And our defense players are not fast to catch him. So they kept running those certain moves around certain players, and knowing that they were going to get burnt every time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I thought the back end of our defense played a little better than what they normally are, but still a lot of gaps there. And even them,
Yeah.
they had a lot of missed tackles, but
Yeah.
my primary concern was, I think it was Pacheco with the Chief when he was running the ball.
Oh yeah.
He didn't get
Yes.
touched until he was way in the secondary.
Right. Right. And he's fast too, and it's
Yeah,
like they
yeah.
should have known by film alone that he has to be, dealt with double team. I mean, he's so fast, nobody can, and he does a lot of scrambling and stuff. Nobody can really touch him,
Hmm.
and he was really
Hmm.
bringing it to us yesterday.
Yeah. I mean, and I think he did the same thing in the Super Bowl. And,
Yeah. Mhm.
like you always say, if you're watching films on these guys, you're seeing what they're doing, and you should be able to do something different. But I don't know.
Mhm.
This team is called heart attack team, I guess. Yeah. But
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Mhm.
let me tell you a couple of things here. Between the first half and the second half. In the first half, we allowed 17 points. In the second half,
Mhm.
0.
Yeah.
Total yards in the first half for the Chief, 190. 146 in the second half. Rushing yards, like I said, with that Pacheco in the first half, 121 rushing yards. But in the second half,
Yeah.
just 47. And
Yeah.
passing, 69 in the first, 99 in the second. But just the basic story, like you always say, when they needed to, they brought it.
They did.
But it's going to
Oh
run out
yeah.
at some time, so we need to start bringing it the whole game.
Mhm.
If not the whole game, bring a little of the first, a little of the second, a little of the third. Don't wait till the fourth to start bringing
Mhm.
it.
Mhm. Mhm. And even watching the game, I was like saying, won't they do more short passes and quit, trying to get it all downfield? Sometimes, first of all, the short passes allow you to get some yards and burn some
Hmm.
clock and make better plays. But all this straight down, field, that can really mess you up if it doesn't go right. So,
Right, right.
and first of all, you're not burning too much time off the clock by doing that. Now, if it's going to be, if the person's going to make the catch, like one of our receivers are way down there, like the one time Devontae Smith made that catch, he's down there.
Hmm.
But say
Right,
he's
right.
down there, he don't catch that. Well, that's a missed down, and that you get nothing out of it, and you didn't
Hmm.
really burn the clock a lot. So those type of things, I'm kind of worried about. Why they don't do more short passes?
Yeah, yeah. And the times that they did do some, I think there was like swing passes meant to be screens or something. I seen at one point
Mm-hmm.
the defender knocked the ball down. Another time, the defender missed it maybe by a split second from being an interception. And if it was, that would have definitely been a
Yeah.
pick
Yeah.
six. But my point with
Oh
that
yeah.
is our offensive line in that first half was just as bad as the defensive line. We couldn't hold
Yeah,
anybody. We
it
couldn't
was.
keep anybody
Yeah.
off of Hurts.
He had the whole team at him. And then one particular play on we watched, is like Lane Johnson actually stepped aside while one of the
Yeah,
players
yeah.
went towards Hurts. And I was like, what is he
Hmm.
doing? So I don't know if it was miscommunication, but that was kind of weird, to see that happen.
Yeah, yeah. I know the play you're talking about, and for if somebody didn't know anything about football, that's what they would think, that he just moved aside and let the guy in. I don't know what his
Yeah.
blocking assignment was, but it really looked like he just
Yeah.
stepped aside.
Yeah, it did. It
And
did.
then I
So,
seen Kelsey at one point miss a block, and it got Jalen sack.
hmm
But the
yeah.
remarkable thing about it is 5 sacks in the first half, and we still
hmm
come out on top. So that's
Yeah,
to
that's the thing
me.
about it. When you look at it on paper, it just when you look at it on paper, it was like, how does the Eagles keep winning these games?
Hmm.
Because on paper, the mistakes we're making, the plays we're doing, it just doesn't seem like it's clicking. And now we're into going this week 11 or 12, whatever week we're going to
Hmm.
now. It's like every time they talk to someone, they said the Eagles have not played their best football. Well,
Right.
they better, show us what the best is, because I mean, we're playing the worst and winning, but I want to see the best and win,
Yeah, yeah.
because it just seems like they're all over the place. Yesterday, I didn't really know what they were doing, running game, passing game. I mean, it was just all over the place. So,
Hmm.
and like I said, every time you turn around, Jalen Hurts was sacked and stuff. So I was like, what? I didn't think we were going to win at that point in time. I
Yeah.
said their defense is definitely on him.
Yep. And
But like you
especially
said,
once
it
the
came out.
once the second half started, I think we had the ball first, and I think that was the 3 and out. And I was saying, "Oh my God, this is going to be terrible." But for some reason, they flipped that switch and turned it on.
Yeah. Yeah. It reminded me of the Cowboys game towards the end as well. It's like, how many chances, we started getting a lot of calls against us, a lot of penalties. It's like, how many, games we're going to go through this and, where they're almost trying to give them the touchdown, it seemed like. And, for some reason, our guys, to me, was not blitzing Mahomes enough. They got him off balance a little bit, but not enough, because he still was able to get that ball in his hand and scramble. So they got to be faster than what they are on defense, because you're not going to come across a quarterback all the time that can run, but the ones you do, you're going to have to be able to stay with them.
Absolutely. Yeah. We got Buffalo coming up this weekend. They are not as scary as they was in the beginning of the year, but still,
not at all.
We can't go in there, looking at them like, okay, they're not that good, or thinking like I'm thinking that they're not that scary, because they still can be lethal. But, they talked about how tough these games are. We're on our, third game there, because Miami considered was a tough game. Then there was Dallas, and then these guys. So we're still hanging in there. And
all the teams you just mentioned, Dallas, Miami, and the Chiefs, those are the three teams that I had us losing. And I said we're going to go 13-4, and also had and the Bills. Those are 4 teams that I said we're going to lose against but now I say now we're going to be 14-3 instead of 13-4, because we're on a track to even maybe 15-2. Who knows? Because every team that I thought, and we're playing 500 teams and more. It's not like the Cowboys or other teams that they're playing under 500 teams and getting the wins. We're playing some tough teams and winning. So that's why I really feel that the Eagles have a great chance of going to the Super Bowl, because they're not playing, like the Panthers. They're not playing the Chicago Bears and all the other teams that only got a win here, a win there. So I'm impressed at the fact that we can get there, and we're getting there the hard way.
Right. And as much as we say the defense is, this defense is that, our last 2 games, we've played some high-powered offenses, and we limited them. And I think the last 2 games in a row, we only allowed 17 points. So
right.
As bad as we said they're playing, and as many mistakes, I don't know how these guys keep winning.
I know, and that's the thing about it. It's almost like, what? We won that game, So my thing is to people is, are the Eagles lucky, or all these other teams are just overrated? Because we played at our worst last night, and even with the Cowboys, we played bad games, and we came out on top. And they was like, I had to go back to the Cowboys game, but I heard this commentator say, "Well, Prescott played the game of his life. He gave it all he had. You gave it all he had with a team that's not even all there." So that lets me know that the Eagles have to be better than what we give ourselves credit for, because these teams are playing their heart out. Mahomes was not sick yesterday.
No.
Kelsey was in there. They were able to quiet Kelsey down, and that really helped us get that W as well. Because if he was on fire, then we probably would have had problems. But he dropping passes and everything. So it was just a bunch of everything around both teams, and neither team can say anything about the other. We both had penalties. We both had dropped balls. We both had a sack here or there. I think Mahomes only got sacked once, but it was evenly spread out, all the problems, and we just came out, the victorious one.
I mean, even down to the officiating. They had some bad calls on Kansas City. We had some bad calls on us. And, like you were saying, we had some drops. They had some drops. Like the guy that dropped that touchdown, they were saying, well, you guys got lucky. Well, you know what? From my understanding, this guy been dropping balls like that ever since he's been in the league. That's said this year. And it's not Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
This year alone.
I'm saying what you're saying. I'm agreeing.
This guy has had 29 drop passes this year alone. Wow. So that's not unlucky on us.
Right.
That's unlucky on the Chiefs.
That is, the Chiefs should not look for any excuses because any team at any given time, you can say, a lot, even like Jalen Hurts. I know there's a lot of plays you wish you could take back. Okay.
Hmm.
When Wilson, I guess his name was Wilson, whoever that guy was on the Chiefs, he was throwing the ball to at the end. Had he had
Hmm.
caught that, it could have been over for us.
Yeah,
But,
yeah, absolutely.
nobody touched him. We had somebody on his trail, but he wasn't going to catch him. All you had to do was catch the ball. So you
Yeah,
can't sit there and say, "Oh, the Eagles they had help." You guys had opportunity. Your player just did not catch that ball.
absolutely.
Nobody even touched him, pushed him, nothing, no penalty. He just did not catch the ball. And if you want to blame somebody, blame your player. Don't blame
Yeah,
the Eagles. No
absolutely.
officiate. Nothing happened, but he did not catch it.
Yeah, because I mean, he had at least three steps on the guy, and he just flat
Yeah,
out missed the
yeah.
ball, flat out missed it. And
Hmm.
you can call it luck, you can call it whatever you want to call it, but that's the way it went. That's the way it turned out.
Hmm.
We had some drops, so I don't want to hear none of
I
that.
don't,
Well,
I
you
don't call
guys
it
got
luck.
lucky.
I don't call it lucky on the Eagles' part. I call it unlucky on their part. They didn't
Yeah,
catch it. It's not lucky on our part. We have nothing to do with what your team is doing. We have
yeah,
what
absolutely.
we take responsibility for what we're doing. So I looked at it. Hey, your guy didn't catch the ball. You lost the game. Blame them. It was not. It wasn't our lucky day. Because you look at other plays. That was not the only play of the game. So there's other things that didn't happen on their end that should have happened if they thought they were going to win. But to me, they don't. They're no better than the Eagles. They got the
Right.
same amount of players on the field that we have.
Hmm.
We did better, even though we did sloppy. They had to do sloppier because they lost against a sloppy team. So,
Yeah, yeah.
that's how I look at it. You
And,
know,
and and in your own home stadium as well.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it, it is what it is. We won the game.
Hmm. And the thing about it is, sometimes, the Eagle fans, we give other teams more praise than they deserve. Every team is beatable.
Hmm.
Nobody, as you saw, nobody in the NFL is undefeated, so everybody is beatable. And this we had a bad. We should be undefeated. Based on our
Right.
game against the Jets. We look at everything, but that's neither here nor there. But we just come out and just get our butt beat last night with the Chiefs. I was like, well, you know what? They were the better team. They just, I didn't see it like that yesterday at all. Even when we were losing, they were a couple, maybe 3 points ahead. I still said, just the right interception, the right pick,
Hmm.
anything can bring this game back. And then that pick in the end zone,
Yeah,
it's like, there
yeah.
you go, defense. So,
And see, I'm really glad that that was Bayer. I'm glad that he got that because that
yeah,
pretty much atoned
yeah,
him because he was the one that let that touchdown go.
yeah, yeah. I
And
have my
then,
I have my reservations, but I'm not 100% on the bandwagon with him yet. But
hmm
yesterday proved to me, I give him some slack. He just now getting with the team a few weeks and everything, so he's getting into a new team. But I still expect, even if you're getting a new team, you still gotta know your position, whether you're on
right,
our team or another team, and that's your position. So, but last night he did improve. I mean, I was able to see what he was made of because he did, whatever, a few good plays, but that interception was right on the money for
yeah,
us.
yeah, yeah. And another statistic that I just found out about is that when it comes to the second half, Kansas City
Hmm.
Chiefs are in last place in the NFL of scoring in the
Yeah.
second half
Hmm.
or whatever statistic that
Yeah.
they have. They're in last place for the second half for some reason.
Yeah.
I guess they get
Yeah.
that lead and they think they hot dogs and they lose it in the second
Yeah.
half.
Or they get complacent, and I think that you didn't hear anybody talk about it, but I'm sure in the back of their minds was, hey, we beat them in the Super Bowl, we're gonna beat them again. This team, they have, they're not really playing good. Jalen Hurts, I'm sure all that stuff that they've heard on the
Hmm.
TV is going through their head like we got it. And I don't think that once the Eagles went there saying, I know we're gonna, whip up on them, I know it's gonna be a blowout. We didn't go with that mindset.
Right.
Our mindset is get in here and try to get this win to prove that we belong, further down the line in the Super Bowl, and we need to win it this time. So I did not
Right.
look at it as a grudge match. It's
Hmm.
win this game because this is a hard game. So I feel like if you're a team and you're practicing, just like the Cowgirls, if you're going against teams that are under 500, that's a practice. I look at
Hmm.
if you're going to a team that's toe to toe, the top in the AFC, that's not practice. That is like, okay, this is getting us prepared.
Right.
You
Right.
can't not get prepared with a 1-18 because you're gonna run
Hmm.
all over them. You need somebody who can go toe to toe with you. And that was a toe to
Right.
toe game yesterday.
Hmm. That's like
Mhm.
not to be harping on Dallas, but when they won against the
Yeah,
Giants last week, everybody said, "Yeah, we back, we back." you,
yeah.
you beat a one and
And
eight
then they
or a
won. Then
two
they
and
won against.
18.
Then they won against the Panthers. the Panthers are what 1-9 now. It's like
Yeah.
you guys beat up on little teams, but nobody they have not won this year yet with a team over 500. So I would not be bragging so much because you're beating up on teams that don't have quarterbacks or they're just getting stuff together. But the Eagles, they said, oh, the Eagles got a tough schedule. They were naming all these teams. Even as of yesterday, a whole bunch of commentators said, well, the Eagles are good, but we don't think they can match, Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just glad they were able to shut the naysayers down because basically, what can they say about the Eagles right now? We beat the Super Bowl champs from last year, and they're at the top of the AFC. We beat, we're 3-0 in our division winnings. So, but I still hear negative comments, and I'm like, where are they coming from, and why are they saying these things about the Eagles when they're on winning streak
Yeah,
here?
yeah.
You still hear the negativity.
Yeah, that's because we're not playing the way they think we should play, but yet they're disregarding that we're still winning. And I think it's a lot of it. I'm not going to say this on air, but a lot of it has to do with who the players are. A lot of it has to do with who the players are, especially the quarterback. So I guess that's something that's never going to go away. So he goes out there, he keeps proving himself.
Yeah, I don't know if you're gonna bring up later, about our injury, as far as Goddard. I don't know if was that one of your questions for later on, but I was reading that he didn't get put on IR for the simple fact that they plan on having him back by the time we play Dallas again.
Right. Now, since you mentioned that, let me ask your opinion on this. Now, you saw that play when he got hurt. Now, when I was looking at him, it looked to me as if his arm was deliberately twisted while going to the game. Did you by any chance see that way? Yeah.
Yeah, that's why. Yes, I thought the same thing. Yeah. I thought I thought the same thing that it did seem like there was an accident. It seemed like that was actual.
Exactly. Because you can tackle a guy, you can pull him down, but in my opinion, you can actually see that defender twisting as he was falling. So I haven't heard anything or seen anything whether or not it was investigated, but if it wasn't, it should have been. Yeah.
I was reading. I didn't hear it like major. They don't put it on TV because they don't want any negative publicity like that. But in a lot of groups I was reading, a lot of people were saying, "Look at that dirty move they did to Goddard." Nobody talked about that. So it's only going to be the fans talking about it because the officiators ain't going to talk about it because they don't want to lose their credibility, and the NFL's not going to talk about it because once you start some type of comment like that, then everybody starts saying, "Hey, is the NFL really this?" So they can't bring bad vibes to the NFL. So you're not going to hear it on TV or anything.
Yeah. Now, one of the things that Kelsey has said, Travis, yesterday when he was when they was interviewing him after the game. And nobody agreed with him. And he was saying that, it's nothing that they did to us. We did it to ourselves, so.
Right.
Everybody that I heard said, everybody got their opinion, right? But, truly, we caused a lot of that. Sure, you had a lot of things to go wrong, but we had a play in that. We had a play in it.
Yeah, that's to me. I think to me, when you lose a game, just like when we lost the Jets game, I didn't say anything about the Jets. The Jets, they did what they did, we did what we did. But basically, when you lose, it's not like somebody just did something, another team did something to you. It's like if you play better, a lot of penalties don't get called. Then you don't have to leave it up to a referee or a replay or something like that. If you play good ball, and if you lose, bow out gratefully and say, that team was good. I don't think the Chiefs want to give us a shout out of being a good team because they beat us in the Super Bowl, and people be like, I wonder if if the Eagles should have beat them in the Super Bowl. Because look at this. So that is the scrutiny that they're getting, and everybody who watched the Super Bowl knew that could go either way. It was just one call away from us winning. They know that if they had beat us yesterday, then everybody would say, okay, well, the Chiefs is a better team because they beat them in the Super Bowl. They're both they both got the top seed again right now. And look, they got beat here. They probably gonna get beat again if they make it to the Super Bowl.
Right.
Now that conversation is dead,
Yeah, absolutely. Well, again, time has passed us by, but I'm so glad that we can talk about a victory on this Victory Tuesday, and especially as the season get deeper into the thing. we're looking good right now. We
Yeah.
can look better, but I think that's coming as well.
Yeah. Yeah, we got that wiggle room now because I was saying to myself, if we had lost yesterday, we're only going to be a half a game up against Dallas, and that can be really close. You know,
Mm-hmm.
with their schedule
Mm-hmm.
kind of easy until the end, our kind of hard until the end. So that win just gave us some room unless we do something crazy on Sunday and lose against the Bills, because I don't think Josh Allen is playing his best
Yeah,
ball.
yeah.
But it gives us some wiggle room in between if we do have a slip up on another game like we did with the Jets, a team like the Jets. And right
Mm-hmm.
now, that's not going to be towards the end of the season when we start playing the Giants, because all the teams that we are playing in the next few weeks are over 500.
Yeah, yeah. And plus, I think Detroit Lions are behind us
Mm-hmm.
now. They're even in front of
Right,
Dallas, in
right,
front of San Francisco, because
right.
I think they're 8-2
Mm-hmm.
or 8-3 or something like that. So, yeah, we got to keep
They're
the
eight and
metal to the
two.
pedal. Yeah. All right. Well,
Yeah,
Annette,
definitely. And like it's
go
working.
ahead.
Okay. No, I'm gonna say it's working. So if they keep, I don't care how ugly the win is, as long as it comes to be a W, because like I said, nobody's celebrating a pretty loss these days.
Right, right. And really,
Mhm.
it's not only us that are getting ugly wins. It seems to be league wide, but
Yeah, yeah. Mhm.
league wide, we still got the W. So that's the bottom line.
Yeah, you got people missing field goals, who normally kickers never miss
Mm-hmm.
field goals. They're missing field goals. Everything's decided by 1 point here, 3 points there. Like I said, the whole league is spread around, and anybody can say what they want to say about the Eagles, but they would love to be in our position right now and be nine and
Absolutely,
one. So
absolutely, absolutely. All right. Again, thank you so much. And I like I said in the beginning, I hope people in Charleston, your area, see what you're doing and lend a hand to you to help support these people out there that really
yeah,
need it. And also check her out on
yes.
Sundays, Sunday Football with Annette McKinney. Thank you so much for being my co-host, and I appreciate you very much.
Okay,
So
you're welcome. Have a good day.
all right, you as well. Bye-bye.
Yeah.